So this has raised its ugly head again. This is actually for us. We're going to revisit one of our first podcasts.
A blast from the past.
I'm telling you, right? I can't believe it's been a year now since we've talked about this. But it's been going on since 2016, folks. It's the whole players refusing to stand during the national anthem. I guess I know in recent weeks the NFL put out a policy, and I'll read the policy. It basically says that all players who are on the field when the national anthem is heard before a game must stand, or they can choose to remain in the locker room without penalty. Teams will be subject to a fine if a player disobeys. So it's pretty plain and simple. I mean, I think that he's way too late with this.
Oh yeah, he's coming out now and trying to say, boy, I'm really laying the law down on these guys. You should be impressed with what all I've done here.
Right.
Dude, you're such a wimp.
Yeah.
You're still the biggest loser on the planet as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, he's the biggest revenue-losing guy out there right now, too. I think it's funny because the minute he put this out there, what it was about. But you also knew what was going to happen. You had the players' union coming out saying, well, nobody talked to us about it.
Well, plus this whole the talks alone,
right?
Somebody had to have said we need to get these talks going because we have another season coming up.
Sure,
and we don't foresee our viewership going up.
No, not at all.
So we've got to do something.
So this meeting was in Atlanta during the team owners meeting that they have every year, and it's funny because they had made a statement, well, we weren't consulted, they weren't talking to our players, when in fact they did. There was hundreds of players that were actually requested information of.
Right.
That was verified by Jerry Jones. He didn't go into detail, but he says, yeah, we did. We talked about it.
Right.
So that right there, you can see it starting off on a very bad vein.
Right.
What I think is even more funny it's not really funny, it's kind of sad. So the NAACP jumps in, and they're basically saying, well, they're just burying their head against real social issues. And, it's really funny because I look at this, and I look at this group of multimillionaires, these deprived...
Poor little children.
Poor children that can't seem to get along and stay out of trouble. They're still in trouble. You may not hear about it, but they're still who they are. But instead of taking their money and buying time on a radio station...
They've done none of that. They've had years. They've had 2 years to do it now.
Yeah, they've had all this time to go to a TV station as a collective body together and put out PSAs. They haven't done that.
Right.
They won't do it. They choose to do it on my time. Well, time to watch a ball game.
Exactly. In my mind, they've really made it us versus them.
Sure.
That's really what this is about now.
That's how it appears, yeah.
Yeah.
Because think about it. What have your protests done other than piss people off?
Right.
You've yet to do anything. You've yet to do anything to eliminate the problem that you say exists. I'm not even gonna argue with you that the point exists or not at this moment. There's no sense of doing that. So what have you done other than piss people off trying to say that it's a protest over something that doesn't affect the actual problem? What is it that you've done with your protest that's affecting the problem?
Well,
nothing.
They have it, but what their statements that are coming out. So the whole racial thing is really starting to get on my nerves because they're saying that nobody understands the plight of the African American athlete,
right,
or the average African American. Well, I disagree with that. I've been hearing about the plight now for a long time. Okay, but I'm not seeing any improvement.
Right.
And I'm talking about improvement of behavior.
What have you done, Players Union? What have you done, coaches? What have you done with all that money you make? What have you reinvested in the people that you say that you're out there to bring up to this level? What have you done with your money? Let's see some action.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, the community outreach, there are community outreach programs, but you don't see them on TV.
No.
My whole argument with this whole thing is you can choose to protest all you want. Just don't do it on my time.
Right.
I'm paying for the cable to watch the game. Well, I don't watch the games anymore, but as a consumer, that's not what I want to see. If that is the case, then what the NFL should do is take out 40 minutes before the game and get everybody that's got a bitch, complaint, or and let them run their infomercials before the game. Okay?
Yeah. Now, as if I'm following you correctly, if this 40 minutes is blocked out, Are we talking about players playing for some? Okay,
sure.
Yes, because
put it on during the pregame.
Skin in the game.
Absolutely.
You paid for your own mark.
Yeah.
Or
I'll at least respect you at that point.
I got tons of respect for that.
Sure. But tell me what the viewership of that's going to be.
Nothing.
Okay?
No,
it's not going to happen.
Because ain't none of us buy that crap.
Right.
You're going to see an uptick. If you watch the graph, you're going to see people tuning in 40 minutes after all that bullshit's over with.
Right.
But one of my issues with players is their self-importance.
Right.
Is, why are owners not consulting us when they're making these new rules that they're going to make us complain? How I look at it is like, you signed a contract to be a player, and in that contract it stated things that are to be expected of you as a player. You're not an owner. If you want to hold your skill set over their heads and say you're not going to do something, then don't do it. I can respect that too.
Yeah.
But don't go in here saying that you expect something to happen when there is no expectation of anybody honoring your request.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's ludicrous. It really is. I mean, I sit there and I watch this now. I guess it's been 2016 since it started when Kaepernick first did it. Now they're saying that, well, there's more of us than there is of you. So what if we just get together and just don't play?
Oh, please. I beg you not to.
I'm fine with that, too.
Oh, I'm all over it.
And then also, too, they're saying that if Kaepernick is not signed, let's not play.
Exactly. What does that have to do with your cause at all? I don't get that.
It doesn't at all.
Well, how does that jive with your
they're
cause?
saying he's singled out because he started this protest. Well, I disagree with that, because there's a lot of people that offered to bring him on and let him make his case.
Sure.
And he's declined to do it.
He sucked when he was with San Francisco.
He did, but
he was a terrible quarterback.
Yeah, that's the nature of the game, though. I mean, quarterbacks they're at a big deficit for good quarterbacks
I will
anyway.
Say that certain players thrive in certain environments.
Sure.
So you put them in a right environment where they thrive, then they're okay.
Well, I think it gets bigger than that, too. You're right, but I think it gets bigger than that. I think what they see is celebrities.
Yes.
They see celebrities going out and doing what they do in public. They stand for a cause. Well, they rub shoulders with these celebrities because they're all millionaires hanging out together in clubs together.
Right.
So they decide, well, I'm going to go this route, and I'm going to imitate the celebrity that I see.
Right.
And so what I think is funny is you look at how much money that's costing all of them. It really is.
It is.
I mean, they're collecting on contracts. Don't get me wrong. They're collecting on contracts now. But when revenues don't come in, things are going to change.
Those advertisers are going to not see the returns that they were used to getting. And that's going to be... They count that. I mean, that's what counts for money there.
Absolutely. Yeah, viewership counts, and I just don't think they're going to get it back.